Oh,
It's very dramatic, that.
What happened then?
I wasn't waving at you.
I do not think you brought in the correct version of the song. I was just about to share my cough medicine with Bruce.
Right.
Is that good? Because I'm a bit throaty.
Well, if you want some, we'll get you a clean spoon, because that one's been sitting around. But Cavonia, mentholated cough medicine. I tell you what's good about it. Have a sniff.
Yeah?
Bruce. That smells like medicine should smell. Doesn't it?
You're absolutely right.
You know that's going to hit the spot.
There was a stuff years ago, probably not on the market, glycerine and ipecacuanha.
Didn't they have heroin in it?
Well, now you come to mention it.
We're talking about the 20s here.
I was always right. Why don't talk about age? You're always going on about age. Well, by the way, that was the worst impression of me ever. I heard it in the car.
Marvellous. What's the temperature?
I don't talk like that.
Well, I'm trying my best, Bruce.
No, but it really is bad.
Well, I can't help it.
But also, you don't say marvellous. I don't know why you got this
Well,
marvellous.
now, hold on. Bruce does say marvellous in actual conversation, OK? And I tell you for why I know this, because Bruce was kind enough to phone me in the week, because Monday night, I'm very excited. I'm taking part in a long overdue tribute to Bruce on the BBC.
Right.
The BAFTA tribute to Bruce Forsyth. I think we're safe in talking about this.
I suppose so, yes.
It's on TV, I think, early next year, isn't it?
I think so, early next year.
It's going to be a fabulous night. I'm so looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for doing it.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I'm honoured to be asked. I genuinely am. It really is a thrill. It's going to be great fun. And Bruce phoned me to have a chat about it, and I didn't get round to calling him back. And then we finally got to speak. And the morning when Bruce phoned me, I'm afraid I've been on one of my diets. You know, I had days on... And I'd only eaten fruit for about 24 hours.
Just fruit?
Yeah. So you called me on the way to the toilet.
Be careful,
Bruce.
you don't want to be a fruit.
Well, so I was racing to the lab when you went, and I thought, well, I can't say no to Bruce. I went, "Hey, Bruce, how are you?" And as we were speaking, I was sitting on the toilet, Bruce.
Oh, no.
And at one stage, there was an explosion went off behind me. Bruce, it came out at me with such force, it was almost exciting. And at the end of it, you said to me, "Marvellous." And I thought, this is the greatest showbiz moment of my life. I was just praying you would say, "Didn't he do well?"
I wish I'd have known.
I almost left the seat. The heat coming off, I think I've got a tan on my backside.
For goodness sake.
I'm sorry, Bruce.
Don't lower the tone
any
lower than it already is.
And what are you doing on this BAFTA thing? What are you going to do? Are you going to
Bruce has asked me to do a couple of songs.
Oh, has he?
No, have they?
No. Don't panic.
It's all over. It's all over.
Panic.
Right
no.
now, I tell you.
No, but I'm tempted.
But no impressions on Monday night.
I'm going to do the whole show as you. I thought that was the whole idea.
Me, come on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BAFTA.
I don't talk like that.
Oh, well, I don't know. I can't do impersonation.
Well, Jimmy Tarbuck does a better one of me than that.
Well, that is saying something. What's going on now? That's a horrible noise. What's going on? Well, I don't know. It's not my phone. It's off.
It's not mine.
Good Lord.
Yes, I heard this all going on.
What's going on in there today?
Don't you have any control over
I think
this?
you're giving off some sort of a magnetic charge, Bruce.
And Andy, at the end of that last song, he was going like this, or like this. I thought he was playing a piano in here.
He looks like a slightly less feminine Mrs. Mills.
You're right.
Oh, thanks.
What's going on there? There are too many products in the world, that's what it is.
Is it yours?
Well, no, I don't think it's this. Let's turn this off anyway.
I hope you taped our conversation the other day. And
I wish I had.
Kept it on your phone.
I so wish I had.
It's something to look back on.
Well,
I'm going to see if I've got it now.
I wish I had conversations that I taped over the... Not that I have taped, but I wish I had taped conversations over the years, because so many great people I've spoken to on the phone, you think, well, that was great. Just speaking to you, I'm sure you've met people, you've spoken to people.
And you think, oh, that's lovely. And sometimes you do keep a message, don't you?
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm hopeless with all that.
Well, Sammy Davis, I was listening to on the car on the way in. I was listening to a Rat Pack CD.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, of course, you worked with Sammy Davis.
Oh, yeah.
You met Sammy. Did you ever meet
That's the best hour I've ever done on television.
Yeah,
we did an hour of singing together, dancing together, doing impressions, good impressions,
Yep,
together. And I played the piano for him when he sang, and he played instruments when I did things.
Oh.
It was a wonderful hour.
They should bring that on DVD.
It should be.
Yeah, they have. I remember seeing it when it came out, and I remember it being great.
You absolutely. That would be a wonderful.
I ask
DVD.
only 15%. That's all for the inspiration.
No, that is a very good idea, because it doesn't. Apart from these microphones that we use with these terrible white leads on them.
But I like all that when you see that, because that kind of it does date it to an extent, but at the same time it makes it feel like showbiz as it was then. It's like even when you see tapes of early Parky shows and you see them sitting there, they've got the cables coming out of the mics, or early Opportunity Knocks. You know, they just have a mic with a big lead and they wander around on the stage with it.
You're absolutely. It would be a great DVD.
Let's get on the case with that one. Bruce is obviously busy as anything at the moment. Probably busier than you've ever been, I would have thought.
Yes, it's all gone crazy after Have I Got News for You?
Yeah, which was a
and
huge
doing your
success.
show, by the way.
God bless
Thank
you.
you for... Because you got me on that show when it was a little bit difficult.
See, it's a David Blunkett situation. I had to get a couple of stamps on that
You do me
visa.
a favour, I'll do you. Yeah.
I covered his photograph on the visa as it was stamped, Your Honour. They thought they were letting Rob Brydon in.
You used a bit of leverage and you got me in. Yes.
It really took
so
nothing.
Have I Got News for You and you?
But Have I Got News for You was a great success for
But then, yes, as I see, you are looking at it right
I have
now,
here
yes,
Strictly
yes.
Come Dancing, which has been... What a hit that is.
Oh, incredible.
I mean, I think most people thought, oh, there's an audience for this, but I don't think people thought it would be the ratings blockbuster it's become, because it's the biggest show on Saturday night right now.
It's enormous, it's grown, but it is a family show, which we haven't had. It's elegant because the boys like to see the girls in the lovely dresses, whereas the girls like to see the, I know it can see a twinkle in your eye.
Well, as I'm getting older, I like looking at anyone in a nice frock, it doesn't matter. Even Julie Clary rings my bell somewhere.
Yes, it does, yeah. That was a lovely jacket he had.
Always look gorgeous. But he's very stiff, isn't he?
Yeah, but he is, yeah.
He's dancing like that.
Hey, by the way,
sat on a pole.
On your television, you promised me you were going to be in it.
I would like, you know what?
And you never volunteered.
I fear that my hands might get a bit jazzy. I think I might overdo. I might be a David Dickinson character.
It would have killed you. It would have killed you.
It does look exhausting, but what a great thing to do something like that, where you're part of a show, but you're getting in shape as well. You're learning something new. What an exciting thing!
Nobody really can know if they can dance or not. If you've got a bit of rhythm about you, well, then anybody can dance really, as long as they've got full powers.
And then you find a natural like Dermot.
Oh,
good dear. You can take the man out the bog, but you can't take the bog out the man, can you? He could not dance to save his life.
All the gardening clubs kept him in for a few weeks.
He was the gardener's favourite.
Votes. I mean, he got some very high votes, actually.
Let's face it, you don't need to be light on your feet in the garden.
No, you
it's
don't.
not really it's not a bonus.
I think he'd have been better off dancing in the garden.
But he came out of it so well.
In a muddy field,
in wellies.
With wellies on. I think it would have helped him.
Jiminy
what
Cricket.
A nice guy. I mean, he was so
sweetheart,
embarrassed. But a lovely guy.
All of the people on the show have seemed to be very nice. I mean, I know there have been a few surprises when some have gone out earlier than people thought and others.
Yes.
And I thought, even though we love Julian Clary, he came on the show, I didn't think his early performances were particularly good.
He was very nervous,
and he was
especially on the first show.
But he's really come into his own now.
Oh, he's I tell you what, I saw him doing a bit of jive, which he's doing tonight.
And it's good?
Because I've got the other show to do tonight.
Of course,
I mean,
Yeah, you've got, it's a proper job tonight.
This is a proper job. This is just fun.
It's just filling time.
Sort of. Apart from that terrible impression.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you started me wheezing. I'm on my last legs. But it's really fun to watch as well. I mean, it must be exciting to be there, I would have thought. But, you've got all those things to juggle. You've got to keep an eye on what's going on. You've got to listen to the judges and comment on what they're saying, make sure that isn't too harsh.
And I am standing on the side of a ballroom floor, so I'm not working to an audience.
I can see that's tough for you,
for me. Very difficult for me because one lot of the audience are way over on the left. Yeah. The others are behind me and way over to the right. So my audience is really the television screen.
Probably just about the worst situation for a live performer to be presenting from, really, because when just having that gap between you and the audience there...
Exactly. Well,
it's that dead air, isn't it?
Yeah. You never did the clubs, did you?
Never did the club, sadly. God knows I tried. They never have me. Even Bernard Manning's Empire turned me down.
I'd love to see you in a club.
Oh, I'd love to have done it.
Following Bernard Manning somewhere.
With a bucket.
With a bucket.
But the golden age of the clubs, when you think about the places you worked, and when I read about them, I'm filled with such a kind of longing for them still to be here. And they're not, of course.
They're not.
You read about the windmill, you read about the talk of the town.
The talk of the town was the greatest place because it was a theatre restaurant. I mean, they called it a theatre restaurant.
And people would get dressed up. It was a proper elegant evening out, wasn't it?
It was a wonderful evening out. I miss those days tremendously.
You go to the Comedy Store now, it's jeans and trainers.
Exactly.
What's the point of that?
No.
And the whole scene then, there was a kind of review scene going on. You had people like, obviously we had, the Establishment Club and Peter Cook and Dudley Moore and all those guys. But before that even, I remember there were, of course, who am I thinking of? Anthony Newley. There was a guy called John Cranko. Do you remember him?
I don't remember John Cranko.
He did reviews back then as well. I know he worked with Newley very early on because my wife's grandparents both went out an awful lot. They were fairly well off in London.
But intimate reviews, you're right, were very popular.
It must have been incredible. And there was a new one, and a buzz would go up about it, and you'd go and see it, and it would be...
There's a great one called 8:05. Which was a wonderful intimate review,
And it was comedy and singing.
Comedy and singing and all that kind of stuff.
We should bring it back.
We should.
But, I mean, you get that kind of thing on radio now, actually, and I suppose that's what fills the gap, because you do still get review shows, and you get, on Radio 4 and on Radio... Not so much on Radio 2, mainly on Radio 4, you get that kind of comedy. I guess it is still there.
It's there. It's there. It's coming out. Well, just to prove, getting back to Strictly Come Dancing and the album, if you're ever going to mention it.
I dropped it on the floor.
Threw it on the floor. Folks,
no, I didn't.
Stamped on it.
We're going to play something.
We're going to get the news and then we'll do it.
You're going to go into the news first?
Yeah, I've got to go to the news first.
All right. Well,
they said I was going to do the news.
Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? And that news. And that's been absolutely marvellous everywhere.
It's getting worse. Getting worse. Nothing like me.
We go to the HN tonight to FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC.
I don't talk like that.
It's David Bowie.
We're still doing it.
Then now people no longer know which of us is talking.
No.
At any given time.
I do. Don't you? Well, I do, mate.
Bruce Joseph Forsyth Johnson is with us, ladies and gentlemen. That's a real mouthful, isn't it, when you say the whole thing?
It is, yes.
How old were you when you dropped the Johnson from the end?
Well, when I went into show business, because you couldn't have the way I was built in the early days.
The mighty atom.
How could you have Bruce Joseph Forsyth Johnson
at the bottom of the bill?
At the bottom of the bill. So I had to get rid of two of them. So I got rid of the Joe, and Joe Johnson was a famous old boxer.
Yeah.
Years
Oh
ago.
yes, yeah.
So it was just Bruce Forsyth, and that's
Bruce
how it
Forsyth, and long may he remain.
Yeah.
We were just talking during the news, and while some of the last record, which was of course David Bowie, we were talking about some of the people you'd seen performing live. I know you'd worked with Sammy Davis. You saw Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra perform live together.
That was a night of nights. It'll always be one of the best memories of ever watching people working. The two of them, they did about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And at the end of the show, this young girl who was with her parents, but very nice, striking looking one, rushed up onto the stage, grabbed hold of Dean Martin and started kissing him. And of course everybody's thinking, it must be a plant. This is something they do in the show every night. Anyway, she kept kissing him. Then he sunk to the floor, and then she still kissed him while he's on the floor.
Right.
And she finally left him, came back. Frank Sinatra just looked at him and just walked off, and with a shrug of the shoulders, that, well, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And up until then, I thought, it is a plant. This girl is a plant. And then she went, oh, Mummy and Dad, she said, I couldn't help it. I love that man so much. So she
unbelievable.
And the curtain came
fantastic
with him just laying on the ground.
Sinatra's thinking, what am I, chopped liver?
Exactly. He didn't mean
I get nothing.
He didn't mean a thing.
I got nothing. You saw Jimmy Durante perform live as well,
Oh, yes. Yeah. Now, Jimmy Durante, who was probably a lot of the young people wouldn't even know the name, but he was one of the Schnozzle Durant. He was one of the funniest little guys. Always wore that trilby hat on the back of his head and all that sort of thing. And when he came, I went there with Daniel Massey, the actor. We were doing Star, the movie Star.
With Julie Andrews.
With Julie Andrews, yeah. And he came on the stage, and we were so thrilled. There he is, Snozzled around. Oh, isn't he marvellous? And he fluffed every line. And when he walked on, he didn't do anything. He sort of, somebody came up to him, gave him a line, and he mucked that out. And after about 5 or 6 minutes, Daniel and I looked at each other and say, poor old devil, he can't perform. Yeah. What is he doing up there? And all of a sudden, he clicked into gear, and then every line, boom, boom, boom. And I think he did it on purpose, the crafty old devil. I've tried it myself. and then your people are sorry for you, see. And then when you hit them with a boom, boom, boom. Well, of course, it turned out to be the most wonderful audience.
It's a great thing to claim you're doing, even if you're not. I'm now going to write off my ITV years with that excuse.
Let's do that together. Together we'll do that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you got to be at the BBC. That's the place to be. I get the feeling you are still very, very happy, very comfortable on stage when you're performing.
Oh yes, I do love it. If the magic ever stops, if I don't get a kick walking out there, well, that's the time to pack it in. But it still gives me a kick, and I'm still able to get through to an audience. So if you still get through to them and you're feeling okay, do it.
Do it. Keep the job going.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of learning tap dancing.
No.
Yeah, I am.
Well, here's your teacher.
Well, come on.
Here's your teacher.
Well, this is the seeds of the reality show I'm planning.
Oh, this is your show.
Yeah.
No,
I want to spend a week shadowing Bruce Forsyth like a ninja. Okay? Not actually dressed as a ninja. I want to find out all about you for the viewers. I'll have a little camera and I'll be with you 24/7, okay? Even bedtime, I'm going to sleep at the foot of your bed like a little cat. Yes. I don't think Will Neely will mind. We'll run it past, obviously, but I imagine that's just a tick in the box, really. I'll follow you around the whole time. We'll find out what slippers he wears, what his TV viewing is like at bedtime, whether it's Horlicks or Ovaltine. Yeah. Okay, all right. Whether he's mastered the internet, we'll find out. I'll be there the whole time.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be like Jiminy Cricket.
Yes. What with Merlin? Merlin's your cat?
Oh, yeah, Merlin, bless him. I don't think we'll be Merlin long. You wouldn't want Merlin in the house.
No.
Oh, he dribbles terribly. But that's a good idea for a show, don't you think, Bruce?
Wonderful idea.
We'll do a bit of tap dancing between.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, I'll be your caddy on the golf course.
Yes, why not?
Come on. What a week
my
that
surf. My surf.
I'll be tithed to you for the week. But the show is going great for you. I know the album is coming out to coincide with Strictly Come Dancing, which I would hope will be a big hit for you as well, because the show is so successful.
Well, let's hope for it. The interesting thing about the album, we have Carol Kenyon, the wonderful singer.
Great voice.
Beautiful she is, and Tommy Blaze, who's got a great voice. But every song on the album is a different dance tempo.
Right.
So you go right through from cha-cha-cha to quick step, samba to this, paso doble to that. So it's a great variety of songs on it, which is lovely. And it could also be a good Christmas game, you know.
Yeah.
Put all the dances in a hat, pick out the dance you've got to do in front of all your friends or whatever it is. It could be a good thing.
And hope you don't get grandma with a dodgy hip when you're doing the cha-cha-cha.
Why not? It was a lot of fun to do, and
so you're back.
I hope it does well.
The album has solo tracks recorded by some by Bruce, some by Tommy Blaze, who has got a fantastic voice. I wasn't really aware of him before.
Wonderful.
And Carol Kenyon, who also is very gifted. And also there are some songs where all three of you sing together, I believe.
Yeah, we do one in harmony. And,
just one.
Which is that's Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week. We're going to do that on the last show, actually, with all the dancers coming back
and the big band.
And the
big band. I want to see Laurie Holloway. You can't beat Laurie Holloway.
No, he is the man.
And the big band going on.
Exactly.
You love a big. We love to see more big bands.
It does give a great feel.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to Saturday Night is the loneliest night of the week. If you want to play it along at home, it's a jive. So put down your tea towel. Pick up your unwilling spouse and let's see you jive to Saturday Night is the loneliest night of the week. Don't tell your mama. That was me, not Brucey, just in case you know. But I was caught up in the moment. I couldn't resist chipping in. That sounded great, and what a great sound! The band there, the voices working together nicely.
We had a lot of fun doing it, and as I say, I think we're going to do that one on the last show.
I would have thought a one-off,
a little dance,
maybe a week live somewhere, or a few nights live in London or a big place. The Strictly Come Dancing people, some dancing going on, singing on stage. That would be a great show, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Let's get on it. Let's get
after we've done the documentary.
Yeah,
I'd rather like you follow me around. I think a little cat.
Because I am curious. What at bedtime? Do you have slippers?
Yes, I do have slippers.
What sort of slippers are they, Bruce?
Well, they're all the different ones from hotels.
Bruce Forsyth, hotel thief, eh? And all the towels have a different hotel name on them, mate.
If you have a suite in a hotel, they always give you.
I bet he goes back. He keeps the key. He goes back in, tries it just for luck.
And I
see if I can get a suite free for a couple of days.
And I don't take any of the robes. Just
I do.
The slippers.
Yeah, I know. I have some nice slippers.
Well, you have?
I know what to get Bruce for Christmas.
What?
Oh,
slippers?
Don't give it away. My wife bought me some lovely slippers for my birthday.
Right.
They've got a soft sort of a sheepskin interior.
Oh, yes.
And a slight rubber springiness to the sole. Oh, and in the morning, that's what you need. It needs to get older. I need
a bit of a spring in your step.
I need that when I get in the morning.
Exactly.
I've kept both pairs. She bought one pair in the 12, one pair in 11, because I sometimes complain they're too small.
What size?
I'm a size 11.
Are you really?
This has got to be the best radio that's ever been broadcasted. Bruce Forsyth said, what size feet you got? 11, really? That's it. That's our Sony Gold moment right there.
I'm a very neat 9. But
well, I'm going to... So I've been told. Well, I'll get you... But she bought me them. I've got 2 pairs now. I feel like a king. I feel like a pasha.
They are. And there's something about when you put slippers on. It just relaxes you.
For some people, it's smoking a joint. For me and Bruce, it's putting on slippers.
Yes,
and that's all we need.
We've got to that stage.
Never mind you hippies out there with your long hair.
We're happy in our small way.
Oh, slipper. Do you have a bedtime drink of choice?
No.
Nothing at all?
No, I don't eat. I don't sleep. I mean, I don't sleep. I don't have anything to eat or drink after I've had dinner.
Oh, right, that's a good thing. No drink, otherwise you'd be up all night.
No, exactly. That's bad. But you should always drink before meals anyway.
Yeah.
See, when you drink water with a meal even, wine probably is because it's got something else in it, but you drink water, all you're doing is diluting the food you're eating. Oh. You dilute it. It's the common sense of it is don't drink water when you eat.
This is...
Drink before.
The wisdom I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, you'd learn all this in a week.
You climb to the top of the mountain, Bruce is there, you say, Bruce, should I have water with my food? No, don't have it with that. And then we go down again.
Do it again. See if I can help you.
Now then. Marvellous, marvellous. I mean, when you're drinking water with your food, you're diluting the water.
Listeners, if you could only see the face that goes with this. If you could only see the face.
I can't do everything, I'll admit. I mean, I have some limitations. What do you do in the evening, though? Let's have a think about it. Because I normally, if I'm fagged out, if I'm tired, I'll put the TV on, I'll relax with the TV. Sometimes I'll read, stuff like that. What's your choice to relax, to unwind in the evening? What do you do, Bruce?
I do watch a lot of television. I switch over a lot. I love a lot of sport and all that kind of thing.
What's your sport? What's your favourite sport?
Old films. So many. Golf, of course. Yeah. Football, of course. I even love bowls, you know.
Crown Green bowling?
Yeah, Crown Green bowling.
This documentary's shaping up to be done, right?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. I love practically all sport.
Yeah, so anything
the only sport I don't really like is basketball.
Yeah.
That to me is a bit boring because there's too many goals.
Yeah, I can't really follow it. But and the speed of the
I love
game.
American football, British rugby, rugby league.
So you've got all the sports channels and you're watching hockey.
I love all that.
And does your...
But then I love sort of old films and new films that come out that are good. A great film, if it hasn't arrived here, that my wife bought in China because she's just come back from China doing the Miss World
bootleg
swimwear.
Bootleg. He's buying bootlegs.
Yeah, 50p it was. In China.
For Mr. Yang's Bangkok sweatbox.
Yeah, exactly. But she brought back, and you will love this film if you haven't already seen it, Ray Charles.
No, I haven't seen it. I'm desperate to see it.
Ray Charles.
I've heard it's really tremendous.
A wonderful... And Jamie Foxx. Now, Jamie, was he a comic?
He is a stand-up comedian. He was a comedy performer. And he was recently in the film Collateral with Tom Cruise, and he was great in that as well.
Yes. Well, I heard from my friend in America, Jamie Foxx, said, you've got to see it. And never mind Eddie Murphy, said, Jamie Foxx. And then when I saw it on the credits the other night, I thought, he is Ray Charles. The way he works the whole thing, the blindness, everything about the music and the way he actually...
he plays the piano for that as well, because I believe he was a talented pianist, Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
So he's playing the piano himself in those things.
I don't know whether he does play the piano.
Oh, really?
I don't know. But the interesting thing, I don't want to spoil the film for you, but I bought a CD, an LP rather, of Ray Charles many years ago. I thought, great, I've got that. Yeah, it was in this shop. I just bought it, took it. Played it, Nat King Cole. And I thought there'd been maybe a mistake.
Nat King Cole singing Ray Charles?
No, it sounded like...
I see.
That's how he started off, singing like Nat King Cole. And then it was further after that he got his own style.
Because he kind of conquered all the different genres, didn't he? He did country, he did that. Do you remember this song?
God.
Here we go.
Got an impression of Ray Charles.
I wonder who's kissing her now. I wonder who's teaching her how.
I wish Laurie Holloway was here.
I wonder if she ever tells him of me. Telling lies. Zaz.
You've got into Satch mode now.
Well, I can do them all.
Do Schnozzle. Schnozzle.
My piano the other day.
He knows them all. But it is a wonderful movie.
I cannot wait to see it. And people always say this. This is a phrase that gets bandied around a lot, but he is tipped for Oscars. I mean, I know they're talking about this as being
this is an Oscar
movie that's going to make a big dent in the
For me, an Oscar performance.
Can't wait to see it. Bruce, I think we better let you go away. I mean,
I've got to get back to rehearsal.
You better get back there.
Yeah. I'm doing voiceovers at 12:30.
Before you go, you just send me.
Yeah.
Coming up now, we've got the lovely Julie Carey.
Go on, do it. And now, Strictly Come Dancing.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Strictly Come Dancing, marvellous. Who are you? Before you go, though, who do you think? Who's your eye on to win? Do you think? Can you say that?
Not really, because it's wrong for me to say that. But the audience vote, the viewer vote, will decide in the end, because they have their favourites. They also take into consideration the way they've improved.
Yeah,
and they've all improved.
I tell you,
it's got to a very interesting stage now.
I think Julian is the one who I've seen improve the most, and I guess it's just conquering the nerves and loosening up a bit.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to. I'm going to phone in my vote for Julian. They're all terrific on it.
Can I tell him when I get back?
You can tell him, please do, and feel free to do my voice when you do so.
Oh, well, fine, yes, I will. I've got to get over that before Monday.
We'll confuse the nation, and I'll be round Monday morning dressed as a ninja to start working on the documentary. Right, good game, goodbye. Thanks, Bruce. Take care.